So, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the Accenture Innovation Challenge, which is your way to, not only get a job at Accenture, but also cash prizes and learn some really cool development skills. So today we have with us Ujjwal, Ujjwal, who was the winner of Accenture Innovation Challenge last year, and he's currently a student at IIT Delhi, studying computer science, and he's also a founder at Swar. I think Ujjwal is the right person to guide us to, how to win the Accenture Innovation Challenge. So hi Ujjwal, welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Amisha. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So let's start with the first important question. Why should someone participate in this Accenture Innovation Challenge and what is it?
So, Accenture Innovation Challenge is basically a CSR initiative by Accenture, and what it with it has the objective that it can basically refine the ideas of people who want to work on something of their own. So if you have an idea, you should definitely participate in Accenture Innovation Challenge or some parallel programs, because what it does, it gets you a boost and it introduces you to some experienced professionals from the industry. And definitely what it will do is it will bring you more clarity on the idea, the business plan that you have about the idea, and the steps ahead, because experience always gets you something. So when you interact with these other teams who have worked on their ideas for some time and they have some other perspectives about the other problems, and when you work with the mentors that you are being allotted in the Accenture Innovation Challenge on your journey there, then definitely a lot of ideas come out of discussions and the brainstorming sessions that you can apply in your journey, not just for the uh, journey of the Accenture Innovation Challenge, but for your work on that particular idea in general in ahead of this challenge as well.
Cool. And yeah, and the cash prizes are really good. So I just saw that, it's 1 lakh per team member if you win, runner up 75K, and second runner up 60K. And you get a chance to get a job, and you can be from, engineering, non-engineering, B school, any background. So coming to that, let's talk about the eligibility. What is the eligibility? Who is eligible to participate?
So basically, anyone who is in a college, like there are different tracks in this. So if you in an engineering college, if you have a team from an engineering college, then you can participate in the engineering track. And if you are in a business school, then you can participate in the business track. So basically, anyone who is in a college can, and who anyone who has an idea, they can participate in this competition.
So let's talk about the rounds now. So the first step is registration. Registration are open currently. Next step is team formation. And what happens next? So the next step is idea submission. So idea submission this year, the theme for the idea submission, you can see on their website also, link will be in the description. The theme is leverage generative AI to create innovative business models that disrupt traditional industries or align with environmental and social governance objectives, and they foster sustainable growth. So the problem statement is different from the last year, but how did you guys go about it? How did you submit an idea regarding it, or what was your idea?
So basically, the first stage is like the easiest one. You get an application form kind of, and you have to submit. You have to just write some answers about your idea. And if you have even given that idea a week or something, a few weeks even after given to the idea, you'll be very easily be able to write the answers to the question. They're very simple questions. What's the problem, and how did you come across the problem? What's the solution that you are thinking of? And like it's not a very hard and fast, there's no hard and fast rule towards filling that application. It's a very open ended application. Just fill the answers as per whatever you think, and whatever idea you want to work on, and whatever perspective you have on that idea, whatever solution you are proposing, and whatever. And you just have to I guess build a basic pitch deck as well, that basically gives an outline of what's the idea, what's the problem statements, the solution, how you're thinking of making it as a business, and who all are the team members, the competitive landscape, and several other factors. So basically, it's a very simple application. You just need to fill it in, and this application round is actually just to see who's serious about this competition and just not just playing around. Like one day they get an idea, okay, let's fill this application because the price is 1 lakh rupees, and they fill in some random answers. So they just want to filter those people. So it's a very easy round. If you have a genuine idea, then you'll get through very easily.
So last year your theme was something related to social impact, and this time it's using Gen AI. And again, it's related to social impact, environmental impact, sustainability, and all. So, how to go about this? What do these themes mean, and how did you guys, reach probably to an idea? So, if someone is participating in the first round, what will be your tips for that person?
So I already mentioned the first round is the easiest of them all, and you just have to have a genuine idea. And the theme is just in order to let you streamline your thoughts around, like, this and this is the theme. Like, for example, this year it's leveraging generative AI to have some social impact in the society. So that's the nature and objective of this challenge, that they want to support ideas that have some social impact, that can positively uh, affect the society, and in short, that they can uplift the people. So what the theme is basically just to kind of redefine your idea in such a way that it uses generative AI. So, for example, generative AI has seen a huge boost post COVID, since the Transformers model. If you are tech savvy person, you'll know that since the rise of transform model, generative AI is something that has a lot boosted. So they just want to basically use technological innovation along with social impact, so that those startups who are quite optimistic about this AI thing, and who want to have a social impact with their idea, they get onto something through these competitions and all. So that's the role of the theme, I guess.
Cool. And how difficult is it to, clear the first round and go to the shortlisting or the second round?
It's extremely easy. You just have to have a genuine idea. Just think about it. Open the application. You'll see see some questions. Think about those questions for 3 4 days, 5 days, and you'll get most of them. You'll get most of the answers. One thing that quite helps is if you write the answers once, and then think about the answers again, like reiterating through the answers. That can help everyone, I guess, because every time you look at the answers, you'll get some points and you'll improve the answers. So just have a genuine idea, think about it, think about all the aspects of the idea. Don't just try to play around, and you'll be able to get through the first round.
Okay. So, like, just to, just thinking out loud, if say so whatever I can think of right now, so there's this manual scavenging, right? So if someone thinks of, no, but that's not Gen AI, right? So, like, I was thinking of probably making a robot that helps you out in that, but that is not Gen AI. So that can be one way to, having an impact, environmental and a social impact, but of course, it's not Gen AI, right?
Like, you can if you can think of a Gen AI solution in some way, then of course that might help. That might qualify for the competition.
Makes sense. So then we have the first round was the idea submission. So this time there are three rounds basically. The first is the idea submission. The next is the mentorship. So shortlisted, teams will get a mentor, and then there's an idea sandbox round. So in which we have the top 200 teams from both engineering, non-engineering, B schools track will move to the sandbox, and during this phase, they will get an opportunity to learn from different sessions, and then they'll have to submit a 1 minute video pitch for this round. And and then there'll be other evaluations, another round of evaluations, and top five teams from each of the tracks will move to the grand finale. So did you guys have a 1 minute video pitch last year?
Now, the last year it was basically just 2 rounds, and there was very less mentoring actually. So last year the structure was like you had to have a like the application round. You had to submit the pitch deck, submit the answers, fill the application, and based on that you were selected for the grand finale. So what the scenario back then was, like, you had to have a good plan before the grand finale yourself. There was some mentoring, but there were just a couple of sessions with the mentors. But this year the structure is such that they don't want people who are ready for business. They don't want people who have worked on the business for a lot of time. They just want people who want to work. That's why I said it's extremely easy to clear the first round, because they just want people who are serious about the idea they have, who just want to work, because they are themselves offering that, okay, you just clear the first round, you just fill an application seriously, and we'll have the mentoring sessions, and we'll give you these and these facilities, these and these mentors, and you can learn your way there. You don't have to be very ready before that round. So yeah, I guess that's a very good change this year.
Makes sense. Coming to the third round, that's the grand finale round. This time, so in that you have to show your solution to esteemed jury members, industry experts, and then finally, I think people win. So how does this round go, and how did it went for you, the grand finale round?
So yeah, the grand finale is the final round where you have to present in front of a panel of experienced professionals. So last year it was a jury of around 12 members, I guess. So the final is actually streamed live, I guess. So yeah, it's streamed live. So that's why it sometimes gets you some nerves, because it's gets quite you get quite nervous when you are presenting in front of a lot of people, and especially if the people you are presenting in front of you, like there are 12 faces on the screen, and all of them have some 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of experience, and you know that after this presentation they're going to bombard you with questions. So sometimes it makes you nervous. But yeah, so it's like that's what the mentoring sessions are for. They'll prep you for these questions because they know you are being going to be bombarded. So you just uh, present your idea in front of the jury, and I guess the more important part is the Q&A round, because you have something to say, but it's when someone asks you questions, it's the best way to clear the idea to them. So and the questions are not gonna be very tough. They are not interviewers. They are not your professors trying to ask you some questions to lower down your grade. They're just some people who try to understand what you're trying to make. So they're in kind of good for you. Like the more questions they ask, and it definitely depends on how you answer, but the more questions they ask, the more chances of your winnings. So, yeah.
Okay.
And it's okay if you're not able to answer all the questions. Like last year, we were asked on 6 7 questions, I guess, and we were not able to answer all the questions. We missed a couple of them, I guess. So yeah, it's okay if you are not going to answer. You're not on the stage. You're not the founder of $1 billion company yet, so you don't have to have the answer to every question. It's okay.
Okay, makes sense. And yeah, and there's a prototype submission. So I missed this, but there's a prototype submission round also before the grand finale round. So did you guys have a prototype submission round?
No, last year again the structure was quite scratchy, I guess, because there was no prototype round. But anyways, we had a prototype, we had built it, so we showed it during the finale, and it helped a lot, because a presentation is something. A presentation is some visuals and some text written about your company, about the business plan, but a prototype is the final product. That is what everyone wants to see, and that helps everyone understand better. So although it wasn't mandatory last year, but in it helped us in, yes, letting the judges know what we are trying to build. And it's very good that they have making made it mandatory this year, because now people are going to actually work. And on your, like, one bad, I won't say it's a bad thing that you would have to work, because I guess working is a good thing. But when you work on something, when you work on the prototype, you'll get a lot of clarity yourself. If you don't work on it, actually you won't have the answer to questions that people are going to ask you. But if you actually work on it, actually prep for the questions, ask the questions to yourself before the grand finale, it will be a lot better for you.
Got
So,
it. And finally, like, what was your, what was your idea, and what did you guys work on? If you're, interested in sharing that.
yeah, sure. So I'm the founder of Swir. So when I was a kid, I used to stutter, and I'm from a small town in Kannauj, so I had no resources to overcome it. And like me, there are around 50 million people in India who suffer from these speech impairments, these speech disorders. And to cater these 50 million people, there are just 5,000 speech therapists, professionals in the entire country. So the ratio is around 10,000 is to 1. That an absolutely absurd ratio. So the so it's very difficult for someone with speech impairment to actually avail and afford speech therapy for the child, because these speech therapists are basically concentrated in the metropolitan cities. So if you are from like say tier 1 or tier 2 city, like Lucknow, Agra, or somewhere, it's very tough for you to avail a speech therapy. So generally people have to like travel to a metropolitan city like Delhi or somewhere to get good speech therapy resources, and then they have to like afford something that's very expensive, because speech therapy, the annual average cost is around 1.5 lakhs in India. So that's not very affordable for a lot of middle class households. So what we this was a problem statement that we had. And the solution that we wanted was, we wanted to make speech therapy extremely accessible and affordable for everyone who needs it. So, and since I am from a technical background, talking to a lot of people, we wanted to do some technical innovation in this. And what we landed on after we talked to a lot of people, we released our MVP, and then we actually landed on the final solution that we were thinking of. And it was an app that enables parents to themselves be their child's therapist. That actually makes it extremely accessible and affordable. We are sure that we'll make it extremely affordable for people. We won't make it very expensive. And we solution on a mobile phone would absolutely make it easily accessible and convenient for the users. So that's what we presented last year.
Okay. Yeah, that so yeah, I can see your passion towards it, and I think yeah, it's important to have, and plus sort of relate to it. So that is,
Of
I
course,
think, important, that whatever problem you're solving, just don't solve it for the sake of a challenge or something. It should be something you're passionate of and something that actually solves something, not just to win probably something.
of
Makes sense.
course.
Cool, cool. So that is like, it's great to hear, and you guys won. So how was that experience of winning? Out of so many teams?
Yeah, so the experience was definitely great. Like we weren't much thinking about if we what if we win, because just even before 5 minutes before the presentation, we were very nervous. Like, oh, okay, so there are these 12 15 people who are going to ask us a lot of questions, and this is going to be streamed live. So how are we going to manage, and what if we are not able to answer the questions and all these things. We weren't much thinking about that, but post the page, we were extremely like relieved. Okay, so this was easy, this wasn't as tough as we thought it would be. And then after the results were announced in the evening, we were very delighted to hear our names, and it was a good experience, a good feeling for that moment. And more important than the good feeling, I would say that the experience, the journey of the challenge was great, because post the challenge we had a lot of clarity about our idea and a business plan actually. So the experience was worthy, I would say. Apart from the prizes, it was very worthy.
Got it. So I think we've covered most of the things. Anything else that comes to your mind if someone is, participating in this challenge? Anything you'd like them to keep in mind?
Just those basic pointers, like if you want to get ahead in the competition, don't do it just for the sake of the competition. You'll have these questions from the competition, but more importantly, you should ask these questions to yourselves. If you get the answers, if you can answer the questions to yourselves, you'll get through the competition very easily. It's just a competition to see who actually cares and who is actually trying to solve a problem. And not like, it's not like an exam that you just study and answer the questions in the exam. It's like, if you have genuinely thought about it, if you genuinely have something about it, I wouldn't say passion, but if you genuinely have some enthusiasm about it, then it's quite easy. The answers will You'll have the answers automatically. You don't need to worry much. So that's basically it.
Got it, got it. So thank you so much, Ujjwal, for your time and for all these important advices. And I'll all the links will be in the description. Your LinkedIn will also be there, and hopefully, if someone pings you, you will reply to that. So with that, yeah, thank you so much again.
Thanks, Amisha. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah, ping me on LinkedIn if I'll answer the questions if someone has, apart from all the questions that we discussed in this video here. I'll answer the questions. That's okay. Thanks for having me.